everyone. So I'm back again working on the box journal, the music box journal. So it's been a while, sorry. But anyway, so it's very, very early in the morning and the sun is not up. I have this lighting and it's not very good, but I do not want to go way to the back room and grab my other light. So we will just push on and move forward. So what I have in front is the other piece. So we have this signature, right? So this one is, it still has some stuff to go on the inside, but it's done enough to move on to the next piece. And this was the back of it. I'm just going to glue this piece on to this page like this, and then I'll start working on that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you guys have to excuse all of my clutter, but I was actually working on some covers. And so that's what I've been playing around with. And in the midst of that, I've been feeling a little bit guilty because I have not gotten back to working on this. And truthfully, I lost my inspiration and I have still lost it for a bit. So what I'm trying to do is, well, what I was trying to do was work on another project, which is making the covers and working on some simple journals, and see if that would continue to inspire me, or would that inspire me to get back to this. But all that did was inspire me to want to make more covers and journals other than this box journal. So I had to pipe down and just put my hands on it and see if that would inspire me a little bit, because you know, just getting to work with some beautiful papers can sometimes help to re-inspire you. So that's what I was trying to do. But now that I have these other journal covers going and stuff, it's being a huge distraction. And I like that that part of the digital kit is showing, and the color in it will help to bring out the green in this one. And this one is a separate kit that I'm using of Sharon's. So just be mindful of that. But I also do want some of that music paper showing through. So I wish I could have had more showing through, but this will be fine just like it is. So that's a simple little fix for that back page. And I've gone ahead, and what I did was, since my signatures are the file folders, I did this in the last one, so you guys, some of you already know what I've got going on, but I reinforced them with the Tyvek, and so all of the flaps are reinforced with Tyvek because they'll be getting a lot of action. So I've gone ahead and done that for all of the flaps. And on, I've also gone ahead and glued down music paper, because that's like the base background. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, I wanted to make like a flap, so this will be a flap here. And I thought about also making a pocket, but that will be too much, because I have to keep in mind that these priority boxes are not very big, so I can't get crazy with everything. So I'm just going to glue that down, and then I'll glue this to the flap of that. So I'm just going to speed the process up, you guys, and I'm doing a voiceover, so that'll help kind of fill in the blank areas. I'm not sure exactly, or I can't remember what I've done because this is days later. So if I make mistakes, please forgive me for that. But I'm just going to try and talk for most parts. As you see, I'm just gluing this part down, and Hold on. Yeah. So I stared at this page, you guys. I actually went ahead and cut the clip out, thankfully, to save some time. But I've cut the papers down. I originally wanted some of the design page to hang over the music paper, but once I finished with that, I had an extra piece that I really don't understand why I wanted some of it to hang over. So what I actually should have done was just cut it down to size to that flap right there that I'm putting glue on. And so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. This part up. Eye it up and look at it some more. You guys. Yes. I love paper, and these papers are so beautiful. I'm going to be over this way. So I'm caressing the pages. Probably pretty sure I had to cut the clip out. Some type of I have no idea what I'm saying at this point. I think I was talking about putting a pocket here. I know that I was going to put a pocket right there. And more, trying to figure out what to do. Oh gosh. So I cut another piece of it out. But I know that I'm going to do a pocket here, you guys. So I was playing around with adding just some plain coffee dot paper. And I don't know, is this a rhombus shape? What is this, you guys? And then I tried to make a pocket out of it. And then I believe I was like, nope, that's not going to work. So we'll see. I'm going to cut this image out. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to cut this image out and make a pocket out of that. And I'm not really good. Some of you guys are just like perfect at cutting with these scissors. I'm not. So I think, yeah, it's a little off, but that's okay. It's handmade. And I've explained before, I have a few small trimmers, but when I'm using file folders, I like to use my big Fiskars trimmer for that, because the file folders are thicker, and so it cuts better. And I'm just going with the this permanent marker over my edges, you guys. I prefer doing that actually, in the way that looks better than distressing all of that with your distress ink. So I'm just gluing this down. This is just a regular pocket. And that right there, I like that. You know, I like the complicated journals and all of the tucks and hidden things and all that. You guys, if some of you have been with me for a while, you know that I do love doing those, very interactive and secretive hidden spots and whatever. But I also like the simplicity of things. You know, sometimes just something very simple is really beautiful. And that's what I was going for with this journal, as well as the last one. And I think that's the way I've been journaling lately. Just kind of simple beauty. And I'm just trying to play around with what I'm going to do to the that flap over there. But I didn't want to take too long on that, so I moved on to the next thing. And I want to make a closure for this file folder flip up. And so I didn't have a small tag. So I used my whatever you call these spatulas, I used that as a template to make the little thing that will hold the flap closed. And so that's what you can do. You don't have to go out and buy a lot of different punches or tools, guys. You can try and come up with something that you already have, and you can use that like I've just done. I'm letting that dry, so I'm moving on, tearing more coffee dot paper because I think I really want to work with that. And I don't think I like that either. So I'm going to cut that down and make 2 pieces and see if I like that. And ultimately, I do not. Yep, let's put that to the side, or am I going to try and work with it? Looks like I'm still trying to work with that piece. Nope, I still do not like that. Sometimes, you guys, you just have to let things go, girl. Let it go. Let it go. Now, who thought of Frozen when I said that right there? Let it go. Who thought of Frozen? I know I did. Okay, so now I'm ready to cut this little hinge piece out, or closure piece, or whatever we call these. And, of course, I'm going to outline it with the marker. And that, you guys, is all of the paperwork and CD for the printer that I've not set up yet. So I'm looking for, goodness, and I had that rod and I have that piece. Yeah, there it goes like that. And I'm just going to attach one of these. It's on the tip of my tongue. Whatever this little piece is, we're going to simply attach that. So I just move it around to see where I want to place it. Do my cleanup. And then I folded it inward a little bit so that it's not folding back the other way. And since it's cardboard, that's easily done. Cardboard, that file folder. And I just gave you a thumbs up. I like that, but it still looks a little bit plain to me. But I'm moving on to something else. I'm putting a piece of tape on the back of this. It was on the tip of my tongue again. My goodness. Now I'm playing with these, these again. I'm going to make a pocket out of that extra piece there. I had sped this up a little bit faster, but it seemed a little too choppy, a little too fast. And so I slowed it down a little bit for you guys so that you can still see exactly what I'm doing, but we don't have to sit here through 2 hours of me cutting and thinking and measuring and all of that, you know, is not really necessary to see. Well, I'll talk about that when we get there, because there's a point in here that I want to point out. So I'm using my memory keepers, edge chompers, or whatever these are called, just to round my edges so that the tag will slide into the pocket easier. More gluing. I could have deleted some of these scenes to cut down on the time, but I think I did pretty good. I cut everything down to 36 minutes, and that's not too bad. These papers are so beautiful, you guys. I realize, you know, I love working with these beautiful papers and just beautiful papers, period. And sometimes I take so long with my journals because I'm just enjoying them. And the project that I'm working on, especially if I know that I'm going to put it up for sale, I like to spend as much time as possible with it. And so, yeah, sometimes that is time consuming, but it's just what I do. So I think this is probably the next day, you guys. I was doing this in the mornings before work. And so here I'm talking about my printer. These these digital kits right here, these pages, they were really beautiful. And I think I needed to, which I eventually did, I had to go and fill my ink with the Epson printer is such a mess. But I buy the off-brand ink refill bottles because they're better than the ones that came with the printer when I bought it. I don't know if they've upgraded because I just don't even look for them anymore. But the ones that I like are the ones that are the screw tap, and they're not as messy. The shape of it. The others, they leak out, leak everywhere. They're all over everything, and it's just a hot mess, you guys. It's a hot mess. So I'm using this image again we're going to use that image because it's so lovely. And I'm going to put that on the front of this file folder. And this is the second signature that I'm working on, you guys. I still have one more signature to go. So this is just the way that I measure everything. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And work on that. I'm going to go ahead and see, I could have fast or deleted some of that. But you guys, sometimes the editing is, well, it's not sometimes, it is quite time consuming when you have to go down or go by, piece by piece, trying to figure out what to leave, what not to leave, and speed it up, add this, add that. But overall, I'm absolutely loving it because I can pick and choose what I want to leave in or take out. And sometimes I miss some important things I'm trying to say because when you speed the video up, you sound like Mickey Mouse. So you have to mute that part of it. Now, I'm saying that I want to come up with the same kind of look that I had on the first signature, the same closure, and the well punch piece over here. So I'm trying to mimic that. And I didn't want to find out where I had the other piece of lace, so I used this piece. And I'm trying to see what papers I'm going to use to accomplish that. And I didn't like the one I just put there. It didn't pop enough for me. So now I like that one. So I'm going to, I'm just going to cut that one out and use that to create the line behind the flip up. Or the flip down in this case. You guys, I've told you before, but I'm going to say this again. I absolutely love using file folders. They are a great item to have in your junk journaling because you can make tags with them. And when you coffee dye them, they coffee dye so beautifully to me. I just love working with file folders. I have lots of heavyweight cardstock, 110 pound and 60 pound. And I like using that as well. But overall, the file folder, you guys, I think it's cheaper. And you can find a lot of file folders sometimes at thrift shops, where people, even old file folders that you have that you've used in business and other things like that. So if you ever see file folders, go ahead and pick those up at a thrift shop or wherever if you get a good deal on those. And as you can see, Sharon did those corsets out of file folders. Those are so gorgeous, you guys. Oh my gosh. And I've seen some other, altered file folders and things like that. And that's kind of pretty much what this is. It's just an altered file folder that I'm using as a signature. And I was playing around doing some other things with file folders before. And as some of my projects go, I get started on something else. Perhaps one day I'll come back to that. But right now, this is what we're working with. So I'm just gluing this lace down, using a baby wipe to blot out the excess glue. And this fell out. This is a vintage calling card I ordered when I was into scrapbooking only. And I ordered a lot of those from the lady on Etsy. And so I think I've only used probably 3 or 4 of those. And I still have a lot of those somewhere. I plan to make more vintage journals and incorporate some of those. I don't know what I was doing just now. Oh my goodness. I was probably thinking about, I don't know, start me the lion. Maybe about the closure piece. I think so. So I'm liking that. And I had to look at that page for reference. And I love that right now, you guys. I love the look of this. And it was, when you do something really nice and you get inspired and you get re-energized. And I wanted to just be able to work on this all day, but I could not. I had to go to work. So this is the next day, the next morning. And I don't think I showed you guys me making this pocket. And my camera's shaking there. I've got everything down. I don't know. Yeah. I hope I didn't switch the order of these videos. Because like I was saying, I was trying to get this done for you guys. So I was doing it a little time before. I was getting up extra early so that I can get it done before work. And I don't know. I'm trying to make a pocket. I thought I showed you guys doing that, but I've made a pocket here, but it's, I've added this image and I've made a little tuck spot on the bottom piece of it. And then I put that down and yeah, I had issues with, I backed the well hole punch with Tyvek, and I think I said before that the other piece was thicker and I couldn't figure out why. And I think it's because the original on the first one, I used this craft text, and so I had to go back in with the craft text because the Tyvek, when I went to lift up the closure, it kept coming off and I had to re-glue it. And so that's what I've done. And now I'm just using foil to sharpen this well punch, and the foil worked perfectly for that, to sharpen that on the well punch because it was tearing some of my pieces. And I used it, punched it quite a lot. And I wish I had cut some of that out, so that was a waste of minutes on this process tutorial. So I'm going to glue that piece that I just cut down from the digital kit onto the craft text. And that will give me the thickness and the quality that I need. Now, and we've got a disaster there. So the Tyvek wasn't tearing. It was peeling in layers or something. I can't explain it right. It didn't tear, but the part that was glued down kept coming up from that. And I hope I didn't cut the piece out. Okay, so, and I probably did, I don't know, but I was trying to, share with you guys that, I think I did, but anyway, the gin, oh, that sounds horrible. Jennifer's glue, which she is Jen, from Dreams, etc. I think I did. Yeah, that glue and the art glitter glue it takes a while for it to grab hold of Tyvek. So I've used her fabric glue, and that grabs the best when you're working with Tyvek. And so I went ahead and just kept using that. Fabric glue are the, what is that? The fabric tack. Now I'm looking at this page again. And if I can't figure it out, you guys, I'll just move on to the next part of the journal. It's good not to get too focused or too caught up on one area that is stumping you. And so just move on to the next thing and then come back. And that's what I've been trying to do. So I have my black scissors, the Tim Holtz scissors. I love these long scissors because they can help you cut straighter. But I told you guys before that I messed one up. And that's the red pair that I've tried to use because I tried to sharpen it and it has a serrated edge and I did that wrong. And so they're not really that good, but of course I'm not going to get rid of them. So if anyone has any idea how I can resharpen those, I'd like to know that. And so this punch here is also sticking, and I'm trying to use foil to help sharpen those edges and stuff. And it didn't work, you guys, as you'll see here. I'm fooling around with this thing and it was getting on my nerves. I try it again, and I should have pumped twice and see how it was frustrating me, guys. Yeah. So, trial and error. I messed up that page, which I really wanted that page, so I had to try something else. And see? Oh, lots of banging. I intended to take all those parts out, so I am sorry. Hope none of you are getting motion sickness. I'm still trying with this darn foil. If at first you fail, try again, right? Well, that was not happening. And apparently they aren't making these things anymore. And that's what I wanted to point out to you guys. So sometimes, you can't think of it or at that point. But if you find something that you like, you guys, if you can, go ahead and buy a second copy, because I love this punch. A lot of us love these punches. And if I had known back then, you think, oh, they're going to continue selling it. You don't purchase another one. And then when it messes up, you're stuck, or you have to pay an exorbitant price for them. And then most of the time, like with these punches, you're paying an exorbitant price for something that is used. And so, yeah, I will be looking for myself for another one. But that is why I told you guys I did go ahead and purchase a second Fiskars trimmer, because first of all, it was just a great deal. It was like $60. And the ultimate one I want is the I think they're made by Raw. But yeah, the other trimmer, but those are quite expensive. They're as much as my HP printers, I think, and I'm not ready to pay that price for that trimmer yet, especially when I can use the Fiskars trimmer that I have. And so I have a second one of those, and to be honest with you, at $60, I will probably look for a third one to purchase, you guys. And now that I think about it, that's a good idea would also to buy an extra one, and I could have a giveaway sometime in the future and include one. That's a good thought. I hope I remember that. While I'm saying that, I hope that they I can still find them for that price. I don't know, because I was finding those at that price on Amazon, And they were still like one something in the store, 99 in the store. So that was like a 30 or $40 difference. So I was talking over it, but I went in and I tried to use some wax paper for that punch, and after that it still wasn't working that good, you guys. So I have no idea. And now I'm just using one of these stamps that I found from my stash. I have so many stamps, you guys. I don't even remember what I have. And the stamps that I need, I can't even find. So, yeah. But I like this one. I was saying, oh, and I punched it out on something. And I said, let me try and add that. And that's why I've used it here. Just because I wanted to play with it. I didn't like how that looked, adding that note there. That didn't look right, so I decided to remove it. My intention was to go ahead and do the video and have just one long video where I did this signature and the third signature, and then a separate video for the tying in the signatures or sewing them in. And but the problem that I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys now, because we're getting close to the end, is my phone, for whatever reason, is saying that it's out of storage and I have to delete some of the videos that I have. And I tried that. I've deleted the ones that I could, and it's still, when I went to video again, it was saying I was still out of storage. And I am to the point where I do have the little storage for the iPhones, the USB storage thing. I've placed it somewhere and they're small. That's why I hate placing small things somewhere, because you just simply cannot find them. And that's the problem that I had now. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to have to upload this, and depending on how things go, I will probably go ahead and publish it or wait till I get the other one uploaded. That way I can publish them fairly together. But we shall see how I'm feeling, because like I said, I'm waking up a bit early before work so that I can get this out to you guys, because you shouldn't have to wait this long for me to do a video. And so next time I will just wait till everything's done before I publish any of them. And that is my solution. That is the way that I'm going to fix that issue. That's the plan anyway. Sometimes, things don't go always as you planned them to. So we're coming to the end here. And wait a minute, we're missing a video. Did I show you guys? I'm not sure. Did I show you how I put the closure piece on? I hope so. Because if I did not, that is really sad. Because I do not want to. I've been talking way too long. I've been talking for what, 25, 30 minutes now? Yeah. So let's see what's going on here. I am tearing extra pieces out because I want to do like a little tablet flip. There's that camera shaking again. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Yeah. And then I'm going to go ahead and I don't know if I finished that. But then I'm going to glue those pieces together. And then I'm going to stitch them together. And then I'm going to glue that down to the book. I'm going to go ahead and make my pocket here. So I think I'll go ahead and, yeah, we're going to glue that down. I guess I've already I haven't cut it off. I'm going to glue it down, then I'm going to cut that off. Use the circle punch to make a little tab piece. Not a tab. The whole, the piece where you know you're going to insert something. A half moon. I've already sewn that, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the string and then glue this down. So I told you guys it gets ready to cut off, so do not be alarmed. It just cuts off because I didn't even know that it had stopped recording. I think when it does something like that, it should give you some kind of beep or alert